Hi guys, it's Charlie again. Pronouns are they, them. I am a masculine, not a woman. Just if you're commenting and whatnot, I really appreciate everybody respecting folks that are trans like me. So, this is part 3 about my story of Annunaki being in my family. So, I didn't realize until my spiritual awakening that I had, which has been in many stages over the last like 20-ish years. I didn't realize that I had Anunnaki in my family until this past year. Now, I knew that I was up against something big because everything in and around me was very, very, very bizarre. And as I started praying for things around me and starting to shift some darker energies, I was bumping up against things that were energetically things that they were using against me. And one day when I was praying about this thing that's very oppressive in my neighborhood, which was actually on purpose from them, by the way, I saw just this part of a reptilian with a person from my family's energy come through so strong. And I was like, and I started laughing because it finally hit me, like in here, what I was actually up against. Because I had started to realize over the past year, okay, there's definitely some witchcraft, dark arts, that type of stuff in my family. Most definitely. Because I realized how many curses and things, my spirit team started revealing things to me, and I was like, wow, I have been up against all of this stuff. I thought life was just ridiculously hard for me because I have a lot of like karma to heal from, like my, ancestral lineage, whatever the case may be, right? Well, it turns out that as I started then going and doing errands and being out and about, I started calling out Freemasons and started to recognize that they were popping up left, right, and center, and some within close proximity. That's not really happening anymore. But I was able to, because I recognized that they were also hidden in my family, hence it being a secret society, that I was able to target and identify their energy very quickly and be able to operate in opposite energy. Because their energy, the ones that I've encountered, I'm not saying that any and all everything is bad, because we do need to use discernment, so please use yours in everything, please. But I started noticing that energy was this very stiff, like their energy signatures to me are all super, super similar. Like that's how I can spot them now. And I've spent so much time in this past year in isolation and with my spirit team and talking with source and everything for this reason, because I needed to like uncover the actual truth, because I'm the glitch that they didn't plan on. They knew I was powerful, but they didn't know I was going to stand up in my power this much. If you look back at me 20 years ago in a workplace, I could barely say a word to anyone, much less stand up for myself. So they were really not planning on me being able to recognize, much less call any of this stuff out, because again, it's been very hidden, but like in plain sight in my life, if that makes sense. So my uncle was the one who had popped through with this reptilian image of him, which, funny enough, there's 3 different versions of these Anunnaki that I see. I see their human suits, and I've been able to identify many of them, and I've been energetically taking them on and dismantling them. And you actually do that with the opposite energy. You're bringing in love, peace, joy, and you can literally dismantle them energetically doing these things. Promise you. Like, it's a thing, but I've had to work on this. This is why my life has been really big about alchemy, even though I didn't fully understand what I was doing, like I said, until this past like year or so. So when that image popped up, I was in bed praying at the time, and I was rolling over laughing because all the pieces started to connect. And I did mistake them for a draconian at first. But then as I started calling people out, because see, people in my family who are these Annunaki, they wanted me to stay in contact with them and connected to them so they could keep siphoning my energy. And then once I cut that off, let me tell you, it was a ghost town around here. I reached out to them. I started calling them out via be it text message, emails, talking to their lawyers when they cut off my inheritance from my adorable, sweet, amazing grandmother who passed away. Because that's what this was all about. It was about just taking the creative energy from my amazing grandparents who had a hostel in Washington State back in the day, and they were really creative. Well, they didn't get to live out all their creativeness. They didn't get to do that because they had been stopped by the Annunaki and then passed away before they fulfilled even 10%, I would say, of their dreams. So they're backing me on the other side. I have a very beefy spirit team, thank goodness. But I want people to take from this message that there's so much forces and things around that we don't see and understand until we're spiritually awakened, until literally we start to open up our eyes, because most of us have curses over our life. Most of us have darkness that has been trying to keep us enslaved and trapped and whatnot. But I'm here to tell you that I hold so many keys, from being able to see what strategies that they're using from being in my family, how they go after children, what they do, how they hurt them, to literally, how can I describe this? Like, suck the will out of them. There's a reason why I dealt with unaliving thoughts my whole life. And it wasn't just because I'm trans. That was a really big part of it. I was born, they assigned me a girl at birth because the anatomy, they were like, okay, this is a girl. Well, actually, I'm transmasculine and non-binary, which means I'm non-binary, meaning that I'm outside of the gender of masculine and feminine, which is actually how the creator is, by the way. If you don't buy into that, that's okay. But as I've sat with creator is outside of gender, yet encompasses them all at the same time, if that makes sense. So I present as more of a masculine person, even though I haven't been able to get the hormones, the surgery, all of that, even like a tooth fix, whatever. But I'm grateful that creators helped me develop my identity as somebody who's transmasculine, a masculine person, and some safe, healthy masculine energy, and really reclaiming what's mine and being outside of that gender binary that I was forced and told time and time again in so many different ways, with so many different things, that I had to fit in this little box that never felt right. So I also want to make a note about me swearing in videos. I understand completely that people are going to sometimes not resonate with this message and because of the swearing, and I completely understand that wholly and totally. I have worked around a lot of people who are super conservative. I've worked around kids. I've worked around all different sorts of people. I understand a lot of different perspectives. I do. But I want to tell you, as somebody who came from an Annunaki, that they use, oh no, you can't say that, you can't do that, as a way to keep us entrapped, as well as the gender binary. So I'm here to be sharing about that. Please, use your boundaries. If that's something that you still don't want to allow in your life, by all means, you dictate your world and your life and what you allow. But I want to encourage people to just use it responsibly. If you're going to use the F word, if you're going to use motherfucker, use it responsibly. For me, it was a way to empower myself in a workplace that was treating me like absolute garbage. And I went up to somebody one day. This is the first time I had ever cussed in my whole life, and I was around 20 years old. And I came up to this person and I said, I'm sorry, I don't speak bitch. And from then on, I just started to drop the F-bomb at work. And, well, some people would look at that and say, wow, you're being really unkind, or, agitating, or whatever the terminology is. For me, it was a way for me to reclaim my power and to say, no, the family that told me that I was supposed to be this little girl stifled and put in this teeny tiny box, only here to fulfill some man who's going to treat me and abuse me and raise his kids and take care of his house, that was my only purpose in life. And that, gosh darn it, if I didn't go along with that and work my butt off like crazy, that I wasn't even worth being around. So that was a way for me to call out the darkness. And let me tell you, the person that I did that to, they shifted completely. They stopped bullying me at work, and I left shortly after that. But it was the confidence that I got. And again, please use your discernment. Please use what's right for you. But I just wanted to make a note about swearing, because sometimes it is useful. And sometimes I will sit with Source even and say, fuck, God, this doesn't make sense. Universe, what the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck is this all about? Like, what the fuck? But Creator appreciates that honesty, because until there's a better replacement for the F word, I am going to use it at times. I'm going to be careful who I use it around in certain circumstances, because I do understand that people do get in very serious trouble. And I do have privilege with my skin color of you being able to use that more than some other folks. So I just wanted to make a note about me swearing in videos. And so this is a little teeny tiny bit of part 3. And I have so many more videos to make. But I'm just want to take you on a journey where you actually get to know me and my heart. And that I'm connected to Source. And that Source is where we all need to go. For everything and anything. Because we all are so powerful. We're all gods and goddesses. We all come from Creator, and Creator wants the absolute best for all of us. And that includes getting out of the Matrix, okay?